he spoke about Dele Alli's training ethics, which we all know is very important to Jose Mourinho, what you do in training. And he said Dele Alli's been training very well. That's why he's given the opportunity. What happened in the past remains in the past. And it just made me wonder if, when it comes to Dele Alli, and I don't know if you've ever been in this position, Bobby, that no matter how much you do in training or turn up at matches, you just can't seem to convince your manager, and you just come to a point where you just lose your confidence and you just lose your motivation and you just don't try anymore. I don't know if you thought that was something that happened.
I don't know about don't try anymore, but certainly whether your face fits. Football's all about opinions. Some managers will absolutely love you. Some managers just not the style of play that ticks their boxes. So, yeah, I mean, for me, I just wonder whether he requires a new club, you know, whether he needs a fresh challenge. I mean, I'm looking at Lingard this year, and he's been a breath of fresh air for West Ham. I don't know whether Dele is just stuck in a rut at Spurs at the minute. I don't know. But for me, he's a fantastic talent this year, last year, possibly not the greatest. Hasn't had enough minutes this year for us really to judge, but something's not right. And I just wonder whether, you know, he sits down and has a decision and says, do you know what, let me try something new, let me try somewhere new, and see what comes out of that.
Well, there's been reports that Pochettino is interested in reuniting with Dele Alli over at PSG. Do you think that might be the best move for Dele Alli at this point?
Yeah,
if, of course, the reports are proven to be true.
Yeah, I mean, knowing and going to a manager that appreciates what you do, understands you, you have a respect, you have a desire to play for that manager, makes a big difference. Paul would tell you the same. You know, you have managers that you would go and bust a gut for. And if Dele's getting signals and understands that Pochettino really appreciates and loves the way that he plays, that's something that's great for a player. You know, you want to be loved, you want to be appreciated, and if that is true, then yeah, I'm sure Dele will take the interest. And listen, if you're managing to play alongside Neymar week in week, you know, who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
Paul?
I think it's down to the Spurs manager who comes in and what their plans are for Dele Alli. I think you've seen the quality that he's got and the attitude that he's got by the way that he played today. Bobby's absolutely right with what he says. Sometimes you do get stale at a club. Sometimes you do need a new challenge. You need a new voice. You need new faces. And Jesse Lingard's the perfect example of that. Whether that's something that Dele's thought of, or whether that's something that the club have thought about moving him on. But again, with Jose being sacked, I think Daniel Levy's squad became more valuable to him than the manager. Could see that they potentially weren't going to win anything this year. That those European places were getting further and further away, and he was making more and more enemies in the squad. Dele Alli, Harry Winks, Gareth Bale, to name a few. Toby Alderweireld, another one. And you're talking about his players in the press, which you don't normally hear him do, and the enemies that he was making within the camp. I think also helped Daniel Levy come to his decision that his squad was more important than the manager that was at the helm. So I think Dele Alli's future will again be decided by the next manager, which we go back to the same point, the same subject of how key and how vital this managerial appointment is.
But personally for you, Paul, if you're in his position, would you really wait around to kind of see who the new manager is? It may or may not even work out for you as well. Or given the chance to reunite with a manager who loves you, would you grab that chance?
Well, you don't know that the opportunity is there for him. I mean, he's at one of the biggest clubs in the world with Tottenham. I mean, what a fantastic stadium they've got, a fantastic squad they've got. And if a new manager comes in there with aspirations of winning things and the chance to be part of something special, I mean, you don't really, there's not many steps up from Tottenham, size-wise, if you like. PSG is a huge football club. Champions League football will be a draw. If he does get the opportunity to do that, then you don't know what he thinks. Personally, for me, there's managers that you do like to play for, that you're going to play week in and week out, who do give you confidence. If that's the case, and he doesn't like the managerial appointment at Spurs, he may want to leave. I don't know. The only thing with Dele Alli, is he wants to play regular football. I know that. He's still very young. We forget how young that he is. But because of his lack of football this season, he's going to miss out on the Euros. He was an integral part of that England squad. He was always picked in the England squad when he was playing under Pochettino. He's been nowhere near it this season, never mind near the Spurs squad. So he's got to think about his international future as well as his club future. If he's not going to play at Spurs, then of course he's going to look to move on.